tanks and bayonets and, you know, right up and just scared the hell out of the community. But this community used to be tough. It's getting that way again. But, you know, they used to vote 100%. But after those tanks and after that riot, it just scared them into submission, and they ain't had the courage to get back up yet.
No, we have not recovered from 66 to riots because you have a lot of vacant buildings in the community that has not been open, that's been boarded up and has not been open since.
In Bayview Hunters Point, about 90% of the population is people of color. Unemployment is more than twice as high as the rest of the city, and there are about 4 times as many hazardous waste sites here than in any other part of San Francisco.
Children just suffer from health issues, and the adults or young adults suffer from policing issues, and you know, there's no stores, there's no grocery stores, and just all of these issues that exist in other communities of color are just exemplified here, just to extreme degrees.
The children in this area, it's a high concentration of asthma. They're contracting asthma. Why? How? We don't know. Cancer, breast cancer, where's that coming from?
There are many contributing factors to the health problems here. An organization, Literacy for Environmental Justice, conducts a 45-minute toxic tour in the area to inform people of the hazards.
The power plant was built in 1929, and it's probably the largest stationary contributor to asthma in the area.
The tour begins at the Navy shipyard, which closed in 1974. The EPA has placed it on its national priorities list, citing numerous dangerous toxins within. The cleanup has been going on for years, but problems still persist. In 2000, a long-burning toxic fire sparked outrage from Bayview residents.
Do you want a house next to a 46-acre landfill that got radioactive in it, PCBs, and you name it in it? That's on fire!
Now who running? You ain't murdering no more kids. Now who running?
Another issue that won't go away? Conflict with the police and protests against them. On this afternoon, activists toured the neighborhood, calling for police reform. Many young people here feel targeted by police, and police brutality claims the lives of numerous Bayview Hunters Point residents year after year.
When they see a black man, they don't automatically think they can just brutalize him with no consequence.
Sandra Juanita started the Idris Dele Foundation to help victims and families of victims of police brutality. Police shot 23-year-old Idris Dele numerous times after his girlfriend called to get psychiatric help for him. His mother, Misha Irizarry, co-founder of the group, works in his memory to make police accountable for their actions.
When we hit their pocket and they don't get a 2-week pay vacation for murdering someone, but they are suspended with no pay, we might see some more appliance to policies and procedures.
When something happens to somebody in the hood, we can't just be like, damn, that's their family. That's our family, that's our hood, that's our community.
After this rally, San Francisco voters passed a police reform measure to increase supervision of the police. It also gave more power to the Office of Citizen Complaints.
When you have a high concentration or a high percentage of unemployment, a lot of things stems from that. A lot of problems stems from that.
When there are no jobs, you see a lot of the youth working in the corners because there are kids raising kids. They need to feed their family. If we get in the position where we consolidate black ownership, we create jobs in Bayview Hunters Point, those kids might give it a second chance. Of course, it's not going to be $500 in their pocket every day, but they might live to be 18, to be 20, or even to be 30 and 40.
Free Black Power! Black Power!
Feeling shut out of the city's political system, Black Bayview residents jumped at the chance in 1996 to vote for Willie Brown as San Francisco's first black mayor. But the support they hoped to get didn't materialize, according to publisher Willie Ratcliffe.
He didn't give it on none of the projects that went on here in San Francisco. Willie Brown hired a few of the what they call the talented 10th, as long as they went along with his program and kept their mouth shut. All the people that got killed out here, Willie Brown has never publicly opened his mouth And I see that as almost unforgivable.
Not everyone concerned with Bayview-Hunters Point issues agrees that the Brown administration was a failure in the area. But many, including Willie, are hopeful that the new mayor will do better.
And then they had to get a white boy come in there. Now they want to criticize him because he at least come out here where they're doing the killing.
So far, San Francisco's new mayor, Gavin Newsom, has begun to interact with the community.
And this is an area where I want to prioritize our efforts. We're not going to solve problems overnight. We're not going to solve them in one term. I recognize that, but I want to start with some renewed energy and renewed vigor.
While the mayor is making his rounds on Hunters Point, other city offices are working on a redevelopment plan. Third Street is the gateway to Bayview-Hunters Point. It also connects downtown San Francisco with the neighborhood. With the thoroughfare under heavy construction, it's hard to miss that a change is coming. After voters passed a tax measure to pay for the construction, Muni began building a light rail service along 3rd Street from downtown.
For the longest time, folks have talked about trying to improve 3rd Street, make it a neighborhood-serving commercial corridor, as it apparently used to be back in the 50s and 60s. So that's the hope.
There are competing visions of what should be done in the neighborhood along the new Muni line.
Of donated funds, but I don't see any listing here of any donated funds at all.
Committees like this one, known as the PAC, or the Bayview-Hunters Point Project Area Committee, meet regularly and work closely with the redevelopment agency.
People have spoken about a decent restaurant. They have spoken about recreational facilities. They have spoken about shoe repair, shoe services, grocery, all of those kinds of things.
PAC member Reverend Hawkins says there's even more.
They're going to add on to the Opera House, as well as redoing the Joseph Lee Gym. Home Depot is coming. And that's another project which is down on Bayshore.
The final development plan is expected to be completed by the end of 2004, subject to approval by the San Francisco Board of Supervisors.
You know, the government bears watching, because they're nothing but a bunch of people that want power and money, and they kind of go together. And the rest of us are just counting for it, as long as we let them get away with it.
This sentiment stems from memories of redevelopment of the Fillmore that displaced so many blacks. But Cheryl Towns, who's lived in Bayview for 27 years, says this time it will be different.
No, we will not do that, and that is not something to be fearful of at this point in time. In the 60s, it happened in San Francisco. But that was urban renewal, so to speak, which is a different animal than what redevelopment is today.